Right, friends, we're doing the week of the 7th of August through to the 13th of August 2022. I have the Word of the Year Oracle here on the table in front of me. Let's shuffle and see what the theme for the week ahead is. So as I shuffle the first half of the cards, we're looking for a single card to give us the theme for the week ahead. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm happy with that shuffle. Cut over there. We have our first card. Shuffle the second one, giving it a shuffle. We're looking for the second half of our word for our theme for the week ahead, the week of the 7th to the 13th of August. Okay, and there we have it. Right, let's have a look and see what we have. Unlimited. I like unlimited. Unlimited spirit. How absolutely gorgeous is that? So my immediate interpretation, the way that I want to read this right off, is this has got nothing, well, I don't want to say it's got nothing to do, but it's not about our connection to spirit, but it's the spirit that we have within us. So unlimited spirit, we could also change the word spirit to mean energy, to mean enthusiasm, to mean, optimism. And we need to recognize that we do have an unlimited pool, an unlimited amount of spirit available to us. How we choose to use that, of course, is entirely up to us. But the fact that it is unlimited, we all are so used to measuring. Everything in life is measured. So a day is measured by the amount of time. The work is measured by what needs to be done, the amount of time that it's going to take and what it's going to cost. Everything in life is measured. So we tend to almost on a subconscious level fall into this kind of thinking that our energy, our spirit has a limited finite value to it, which means that we often, when we get involved in a thing, when we start doing something, when we start engaging in an activity, we almost go into it thinking, right, I can do half an hour. Or, I can do that much. And as soon as you've accomplished that, subconsciously, our energy just dips. Our energy just stops because we have subconsciously referred to a finite value around our energy or our spirit connection. We also have this tendency to think very little of ourselves. I think it's quite normal. We all do that. We all have this tendency to not think that we're awesome and fabulous and amazing, but that we are full of problems and insecurities and doubts and all of those kind of things start creeping through. So when I see unlimited spirit, it's almost a reminder from spirit that we need to understand that there is an unlimited amount of energy that we can draw on, that we can pull into our lives, that will help us and guide us in whichever way we need. There is no limit. So don't feel like by 10 o'clock in the morning you've reached your maximum capacity, or you've reached the energy that is available to you, and you now need to move on the rest of your day without that support system. Because unlimited spirit is saying spirit has an unlimited amount of energy, time and effort to give to you, to assist you and to help you, but within yourself there are no limits except those that you put on yourself. So unlimited spirit, I think, is actually quite an amazing theme for the week ahead, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. In which ways do we feel like we have limits? In which ways do we feel that we need more unlimited spirit or unlimited energy? The oracle deck that I want to work with this week is this one, the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Colette Baron Reid and Alberto. I'm not going to try and say Alberto's surname. You can see it over there. So this is going to be in, what's the word I'm looking for? We're going to look at this card in relation to unlimited spirit. So let's give it a bit of a shuffle. And we're looking for a single card from this particular oracle deck that's going to work with and contribute towards the meaning of unlimited spirit, the energy and the message of unlimited spirit. So we're just going to draw a single card from here. I'm not going to do a big shuffle, just going to do a little shuffle, just to make sure that we're giving all the cards equal opportunity. Right, and there we have a card. So let's turn it over and see what we've got. Card number 58, vanishing mirror. You see, ego sublimation. What does sublimation mean? Sublimation is to infuse, is to put into, to combine, to join. Okay, when you sublimate a thing, is you burn something into it. Yeah. So vanishing mirror immediately tells me that there is a situation. I mean, you can see that the mirror is vanishing. The mirror represents the ego. Okay, the mirror represents that part of ourselves which we choose to see. And the fact that the mirror is vanishing is telling us that we need to start letting go of all the things, that the preconceived notions and ideas that restrict and limit the belief that we have in ourselves. So when I put that with unlimited spirit, and we're going to stick it over there, when I put it with unlimited spirit for the reading for the week ahead, it immediately tells me that, again, there is no limits. Okay, we have unlimited energy potential available to us, and we have to almost allow our preconceived notions, the mirror, we need to allow that to shatter, to vanish, to disappear, in order for us to realize how restricted and limited we have been in the way that we perceive ourselves. So your energy, your spirit, is not limited or restricted by anything, but it was the mirror that was restricting it. It was the mirror that was keeping your reality restricted and limited. So if we could get rid of the mirror, suddenly when we're looking, suddenly when we're trying to have the understanding of who and what we are, we're going to realize that, oh, hold a second, there's all this other parts of my life that I hadn't even noticed before, because I was only looking at what I could see inside the mirror. So unlimited spirit is saying to us, they're going to help us this week to get rid of our mirrors, to get rid of our restrictions, to get rid of the things that have been limiting and controlling us, so that we don't have those anymore, so that we can see the bigger picture, so that we can understand the bigger picture, so that we can work with the bigger picture. So unlimited spirit, vanishing mirrors, I am absolutely loving that for the week. I am going to tell you that, and obviously we haven't even done the rest of the reading yet, but I am going to tell you that for some people this is going to be quite uncomfortable, because we don't want to. We're afraid of what we may see outside of that mirror. We're afraid of the reality. So suddenly when that mirror vanishes and we recognize the unlimited spirit that we have, or that we are, it could be a bit difficult. It could be a bit uncomfortable for some of us. So we'll see how it plays out for each one of us as the reading progresses for the week ahead. And for some of you, you're going to just love it. You're going to embrace it. You're going to, absorb it all and take it all on. But for others, it could be a little bit challenging and maybe even a little bit uncomfortable for the weekend. And we understand that. We really do. I understand that anyway, because, we get so used to and the security and the comfort of what we see in the mirror. And suddenly, if that's taken away, I can just imagine how scary it's going to be. Right. We are now going to do a crystal for the week ahead. So I have my crystal cards. Crystal cards are a set of 100 cards that have 100 different crystals on them. Some of them quite common and quite well known, others not so much. It's going to give us a little bit of an idea around what the crystal represents or what the crystal stands for. We're going to get an affirmation. We're going to get some other references as well. And if you don't have this crystal, you can just think of it. You can just use the intention. You can use an image of it. You can use various things to connect with the energies of the crystal to help and guide you through the week ahead, especially considering it's going to be a week of some exposed truths about self. So let's see what crystal wants to come through for this week. Let's have a look and see. Right, so crystal cards, turning them over, we have got Ocean Jasper. Ocean Jasper. So here it says Ocean Jasper can help you to relieve stress and worry, as well as opening the communication channels. It is a grounding stone that can boost your optimism and lift your spirit. It can increase self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. The elements that it works with is earth and water. The chakras are heart and solar plexus. And an affirmation that you can use says, I am stress-free and confident. So I do think Ocean jasper fits in with our theme and with everything else going on really, really well. So ocean jasper can help to relieve stress and worry, as well as opening the communication channels. Unlimited spirit, we also need open communication channels, because if you're feeling vulnerable, if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling a little bit nervous around anything, you need to be able to express that to those people in your life, to those people around you, because if they don't know what you're going through, how can they support you? How can they help you? So I think ocean jasper is a really good crystal to help us with that. So it's a beautiful crystal. If you just Google it, you're going to see some amazing images, some amazing pictures. And what I love about the ocean jasper is no two of them are ever the same. And I like to actually scry with them, to read the pictures within an ocean jasper. So really an awesome crystal to use. If you don't have it, like I said, just get yourself an image of it, get yourself a picture of it. Just keep an image of this card, on your screen, or whatever you need to do, and just keep bringing in the energies. Keep reading the affirmation to yourself on a daily basis. And the affirmation says, I am stress-free and confident. And that affirmation is really, really important when you're feeling not confident and when you are feeling a bit stressed. When your mirror starts vanishing, when everything that you're familiar with, when everything that you're comfortable with starts disappearing in front of you, that's when you need to draw on the ocean jasper for the week ahead. All right. We're now going to do our a message from the angels. Now, I have got, just trying to get them, I have got a few decks that I'm going to work with. The first one is that one, and the second one is going to be that one. So these are the two decks that I've chosen to use for our angel reading today. So we're going to start off with the saints and angels. We're going to draw a card from that, and then we're going to draw a card from the ask your guides. And it's going to be quite interesting again to see how they pair up and how they connect with what we have going on already. Okay. So putting the boxes out the way. So here we have the saints and angels. How pretty are these backs? So pretty. Okay, so let's give it a shuffle and see what message wants to come through from our saints and angels. This is obviously for the collective, not individually. This is for everybody for the week ahead, for the next 7 days. The next 7 days being the 7th of August through to the 13th of August. We do Sunday through to Saturday. Okay, I'm happy just doing a little shuffle. Let's cut the deck over there, and we're drawing a card off the top. Right, message from saints and angels. We have got triumphant, and it talks about guardian angels. So this is again confirmation that we do have our spirit guides, that are guardian angels, that we do have them drawing near, that we do have them connecting with us. Oh, glare. Right, it's going to have to live. We do have a little bit of glare, but it's going to have to live down there. All right. So actually, let's leave it here for a second while we talk about it. So the first thing I want to say is, let's just state the obvious. Let's talk about the word triumphant. Triumphant means success. It means victory. It means achievement, accomplishment. It means that you have succeeded in the things that you have wanted for yourself. Triumphant it's not just about accomplishment. It's actually about the overcoming the obstacles. Okay. So if you set yourself a goal and it was an easy road and boom, you achieved your goal, then that's fabulous. But triumphant means that it was a difficult journey. It was a tough journey. It was a hard journey. It was one where there were many struggles and many obstacles and many challenges along the way. And yet, despite all of that, you still managed to achieve and succeed. So this is your guardian angels just sort of reminding you that they are taking care of the details, okay? So that they are making sure that you don't have any obstacles. And if you do have obstacles, they're going to help you navigate those obstacles. So in other words, they are right by your side, helping and guiding you in the way that you need, in whatever you need, in order to achieve, succeed, and overcome the challenges that you may experience in the week ahead. So let's bring this into unlimited spirit. So you may feel like you have unlimited challenges and problems in your day-to-day, in the things that you want to achieve and accomplish. But this is your guardian angel saying, you know what, even though it feels impossible, even though it feels like everything is just vanishing around you and you feel so vulnerable and exposed and insecure and uncomfortable, just call on us, okay? And on that note, I do want to say that our angels, whether they be archangels, whether they be guardian angels, whether they be your spirit guides, however you want to identify with them, they're always around. Okay, they are always right by your side, but they won't jump in and help you unless you're about to make a huge, big mistake. They will stand by and watch you make mistakes, okay? They will stand by and watch you bump your head because they know that that's the lessons, that's the experience, that's the learning. But they also know that you have freedom of choice. And they, as much as they may want to, the only thing that they can do is to stop you from making a major, major, major mistake. But little mistakes, they have to stand by and they have to watch it happen. But just because they're allowing you to bump your head, just because they're watching you get some bruises and scrapes and things like that, doesn't mean that they're not available, doesn't mean that they don't want to help you. But if you don't invite them in, if you don't call on them, if you don't ask them, they're not going to be able to assist you. So Unlimited Spirit is, again, at this point, it's a message from your angels to say, we are here. We want to help you. We want to help you be triumphant in dealing with anything and everything that you're dealing with. But if you don't invite us in, if you don't call us in, we can't help. We can't do anything. So call us. We are here. We want to help you be triumphant in overcoming and dealing with all of life's challenges so that you can be happier, so that you can achieve things and just be more satisfied in your life. So let's see what we get from the Ask Your Guides deck. So continuing with the same story, continuing with the same theme, I should say. So we're asking our angels, we're asking our guides, we're asking all of Spirit. This is obviously for the collective, and it's obviously just for the week ahead. From Ask Your Guides, what do you want to contribute to the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that we have already covered? What message wants to come through? Just going to do one more shuffle. Okay. Right, let's cut the deck there, and we're going to take off the top. These are incredibly glossy, so we're going to have to find a home for it. Decisions and higher self. So look at this. I love this artwork. Isn't this just gorgeous? So we have this heart. We have a person here. This little orange fella in the middle here represents each one of us. We have got a blue person here pulling you this way. We've got a green one tempting you and pulling you in this way. We have a pathway, but then look, here's a higher self. Can you see that? There's a higher self who is actually overseeing, guarding, protecting, guiding, and helping you along the way. But your higher self is going to stand by. Now, when we talk about higher self, and this is actually quite interesting, when I looked at that card and I explained to you guardian angel could be an archangel, guardian angel, or a spirit guide, I'm going to add into that now your higher self as well, because it's all one and the same, okay? Just in a broad sense of the term, it's all one and the same. And again, your higher self knows the ultimate goal of your life, the ultimate lessons and experiences that you need to go through. But again, your higher self recognizes that sometimes being human, having ego, and there we have the vanishing mirror, which is ego sublimation. Having ego means that we are going to make mistakes, and also it's the best way to learn. You know, if you fall down a step, you won't do it a second time, because now next time around you're going to be aware of it, you're going to be mindful of it, you're going to be extra cautious. So sometimes when our guardian angels, our higher selves, our angels and our spirit guides, when they allow us to have a problem, to have a bruise, or to have a little bit of challenge, they understand that we grow and learn from that experience. So ego sublimation is basically saying to you, your higher self is going to make you force to look at what's happening in your life, and to recognize that in order for you to be triumphant, in order for you to succeed in everything that you need to do, in order for you to have unlimited spirit energy, you're going to have to make some decisions as to which way you're going to go, as to what's important to you, what's significant to you, and what matters. So our angels are saying to us this week that we're going to be with you, we're going to help you overcome, but you have to invite us in, and you have to be ready to make some tough decisions. We will support you unlimited. Okay, we will be here for you, but we have to let go of ego. We have to let go of attachment to our securities and all of those kind of things in order to progress and to move in whichever way we need to, right? So I'm going to actually, we're going to split our angels and we're going to stick them into the corners, because that's where there is no glare, and at least then they're still visible and we can still see them. Right, and this week I want to work with the Muse Tarot. So the Muse Tarot is a collage tarot deck, which means the artwork can sometimes be absolutely fabulously wonderful, and other times it can be a little bit like, yeah, just a little bit weird. And that's what I love about this deck, is that sometimes this deck makes you think outside of a box. It makes you look at things from a different point of view, but it's such a gentle, vibrant, beautiful deck. And I'm hoping, what is a muse? A muse is somebody who inspires you, somebody who makes you climb out of your comfort zone to be inspired. And it's interesting that I chose this before, obviously, I knew what the theme was for the week ahead. And unlimited spirit is exactly what a muse is. It's removing limits, it's removing restrictions, it's removing boundaries, and it's setting you free so that you can be triumphant in all that you do, in all that you want to do. I'm absolutely loving this, right? So Muse Tarot is the one that we're going to be working with. How pretty are these backs? Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so as you know, when it comes to the elementals, we are working with fire, earth, air, and water, and you know which are the zodiacs that are associated with each one. I'm losing all my words. So, right, fire signs, welcome. We are working with the Muse Tarot this week. So fire signs, I'm going to actually leave the Muse box there. I think that will give you guys all a good indication of what we are working with this week. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's have a look and see what the week has in store for you. Muse Tarot is an interesting tarot deck, and I think the artwork is just wonderful, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit peculiar. It's a little bit wonderful and fabulous. So fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, let's have a look and see. We're looking at the week of the 7th to the 13th of August, 2022. What's in store for you? Okay, happy with that. Let's cut the deck. Card number 1 for fire signs. We have got the 9 of Voices. Card number 2 is the 5 of Materials. And card number 3 we have is the 8 of Inspiration. So let's have a look and see what the message that's coming through from these 3 cards. So the 9 of Voices. Now immediately, if we just look at it, we get a sense of internalization. Okay, I can see that her eyes are closed. You can see by the expression on her face that she is very calm. We even have another little person. I say a little person because they are little, but they're a grown-up. Naked, first of all, completely and utterly naked, sleeping down the bottom there. But there's definitely the sense of, as I said, internalization, going within to understand, to comprehend, and to get the full picture. So I get a dreamlike state with that card, but as I said to you, I get the internalization. The 9 of Voices is the card of stress. It is the card of being concerned and worried, but it's saying that our concerns and our worries come out when we are most vulnerable. And when we are most vulnerable is when we are sleeping, when we are resting. And it's also when you don't have anybody around you. So we've got the stress card. Okay, I'm going to call it the stress card. And fire signs, this is, it's tying in beautifully with what we've already picked up for the week ahead. And it's basically saying to you that you may not be ready to do the things that you need to do. You may be feeling very insecure about this vanishing mirror, about letting go of, these parts of yourself that you need to. You may be feeling like there's unlimited panic and fear and not unlimited spirit. When we have the 5 of Materials, and it's quite interesting. So here we have this lady lying here, and there she is over there as well. So she has come through twice, and she's lying very much, actually, let's do them together so that you can see, because I actually think it's quite important that we see them. They're both lying in what we call the fetus position. Can you see that? She's at least got a covering on her. She doesn't have any kind of covering at all. So there's definitely this kind of stress, worry, and anxiety that's coming through in a big way for all of you fire signs this week. And fire signs, I understand. We want to just let's jump and let's get things done. Let's get things figured out. Let's fix this. Let's resolve this. Let's become triumphant. Let's make the decisions and let's go, 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 go. Because I know that's your energy, okay? But this is really telling you to slow down and to reflect. There is unlimited spirit. There is unlimited energy. There is unlimited solutions to your challenges and your problems. But if you just jump in before everything has sort of revealed itself, you're not going to have the triumphantness that you want or that you need. Vanishing mirror, when we talk about ego sublimation, we have to wait for that whole process to take place first before we can actually start doing or making the decisions around the next part. And this is where the Eight of Inspiration comes in, because the Eight of Inspiration, and here we have, you can see that we have these different stages of progress, different stages of movement. There is focused, and we are focused on that point. And you can see that there is focused attention, focused inspiration that is taking place. So fire signs, for the week ahead, this is Spirit sort of saying to you, it's going to be a tough week. All right, you are going to have to deal with your own insecurities, your own doubts, your own fears, all of that. You need to understand that there are so many options that are available to you, but you may not see or understand or be able to fully comprehend them all as the week starts. So wait for this to reveal itself. Wait for this to actually reveal its true self, all of itself, settle. Wait for it to be complete before you judge, react, respond, and do. Okay? And I know fire signs, I know that is the hardest thing in the world for us fire signs, because we do want to just jump into action, and we do want to just fix and resolve and to make better. We will, okay, but we need to get, and it's interesting, ducks in a row. I know these ladies are not ducks, but they're like perfectly aligned. They're perfectly in a row. And this is what I hear, is we need to make sure that we have our ducks in a line. We need to be patient. We need to process. We need to go through the motion of the vanishing mirror, of that ego sublimation, in order for us to be triumphant. Spirit are absolutely with us. Spirit are here. They want to help. They want to guide. And then they'll only jump in when the time is right. They're not going to jump in here, because you still need to process. You still need to connect with the higher self and the decisions. But you can still draw on your angels. You can still draw on your spirit guides. You can still draw on your higher self at this point to guide you through the insecurities, the doubts, and the fears, so that when it is time to move forward, when it is time to do stuff, you can jump ahead and achieve and do with confidence, with clarity, with focused attention. But we have to get rid of that mirror first. We have to let go of the ego first. And that's what this is. So fire signs, it looks like it's going to be, I don't want to say a difficult week for you, but it's certainly going to be an interesting week in the revelations that are going to happen for you, as long as you hold on to this whole mindset of unlimited spirit. I'm going to remind you of the affirmation for our ocean jasper crystal. And the affirmation says, I am stress-free and confident. This is the stress. And here we are stress-free and confident. So we have to process this first before we can move and achieve and attain the things that we want to. If you try and put this first, look what happens. Okay? If we change the order here, and if we do the movement and the attention and the focus first, it's going to lead us to feeling vulnerable, insecure, and forgotten, neglected, and hurt. Okay, so this is definitely an after, because we have to go through this before we can have that. Alrighty, fire signs, love and blessings to you. I hope you have an awesome week, and I hope you overcome this really, really quickly. Okay, I am putting the cards back in the deck. Oh, oh no, it's not. I thought it was an upside down card, but it's just my eyes that are deceiving me. Earth signs, welcome. Welcome, my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is the deck that we are working with this week. It is the Muse Tarot. It is a wonderfully quirky, fabulous deck that inspires inspiration and intuition. Let's give it a shuffle. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We're looking at the week ahead, the week of the 7th to the 13th. Of August 2022. I'm just going to do one more shuffle just to give the cards a good opportunity to find their feet, to get to wherever they need to get to, so that we get good reading for our earth signs. Right, let's cut the deck. Card number 1, earth signs, we have got the Star. Beautiful. Card number 2 is a card that goes that way, so I'm actually going to do it like that. because otherwise I'm going to run out of space. And it is the Muse of Emotions, which otherwise is known as the King of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Emotions. All right, so all my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The fact that we have these two emotions, okay, these two emotions, listen to me. The fact that we have these two cards from the suit of emotions, let me get the right words, is telling you that it is going to be an emotional week, all right? There are going to be some emotions coming up for you that you are going to have to process. But remembering, your support team is here for you, okay? Your support team is here for you. There is absolutely nothing that you need to be worried about, but it is something that you need to process. It is something that you need to go through. We're starting off, though, with the Star card. Now, the Star card is just gorgeous. The Star card is the card of inspiration. It's the card of hope. Can you see how she's got this light coming out of her forehead, coming out of her third eye? And then here in her hands, she holds the star. Can you see there's like these little spikes coming out through her fingers? So she is holding the star of inspiration. She's keeping it close to her throat chakra, which is all about communication and self-expression. And that's what this whole week is about for all of us, okay? We have this energy that's coming into the heart space, so it's coming in at that point. She's processing it here in her throat chakra and releasing it through her third eye crown chakra energy. So the Star card is the card of hope. It's the card of renewal. It's the card of healing. It's the card of understanding. But it's also the card of not giving up. Okay, it's about understanding the bigger picture, understanding about what everything is that we have and everything that we need to work through, and having the courage and the confidence, having the unlimited spirit, the unlimited energy to actually do the work that needs to be done. So we're starting off by giving you hope, giving you inspiration, giving you guidance, giving you everything that you need so that you can navigate the emotions that you're going to be working through. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it is going to be an emotional week. Our card number 2 was this Muse of Emotions. So in traditional tarot, Muse of Emotions would be the King of Cups. So what I see here is we've got, I'm going to call it twin energy. Okay, so it's almost like they are a mirror image of each other, but everything else is not. So they may be a mirror image of each other, but their environment, I mean, even here we have a boat only on the one side, not on the other. We've got fish on this side, we don't have fish on that side. The sea anemones and everything is all quite different. So the Muse of Emotions is basically telling you to not have, and I'm bringing the mirror into it here, to not have any expectations, to not have any idea of what it should look like, even though it may seem as everything is just a mirror image. And isn't that so interesting that we have the vanishing mirror? So we need to let go of preconceived ideas, preconceived notions, preconceived expectations. And that's why the Muse of Emotions has come through to inspire you, to motivate you, to guide you, to letting go of those preconceived expectations and just allowing what will be to be. So it's not about having the control, it's about releasing the control with trust. Now, I am going to say to you, Earth Signs, considering our theme and our angel message and even our crystal message for the week ahead, there's definitely this letting go of restrictions, controls, and expectations. The main card for you this week, I would say, Earth Signs, is this Knight of Emotions. So here we have this beautiful horse. You can see how powerful he is. You can see how he is in water. You can see the water splashing up everywhere. I love that we have this, gosh, I'm going to call it shell because I forget its word. Can I forget its word? Anyway, I am. And it is about a never-ending spiral, whether it's coming inwards or whether it's going outwards. Of course, it doesn't matter. It could be both. It is absolutely. But the Knight of Emotions is about recognizing the powerful emotions that you have and using them to your advantage, not being a victim of your powerful emotions, not being in control of your powerful emotions, but utilizing them for your benefit, for your gain. So sometimes we succumb to our powerful emotions and we allow it to overwhelm us, okay? We allow it to limit us, restrict us, to create boundaries and limits on everything that we do. But the Knight of Emotions is telling you, just go with it, okay? Trust that everything's going to work out as it should, because remember, we have unlimited spirit. Remember, we have this vanishing ego, okay? Ego sublimation. We have this vanishing ego. It needs to disappear. We need to get rid of that which holds it together. We need to be free. We need to allow the spiral, and this is the Fibonacci spiral. We need to allow it to spiral in whichever way it needs to, but understanding that our angels are with us all the time to help us and guide us. There is hope, there is renewal, there is healing, there is everything you need to do, but you have to let go of expectation, of boundaries, of structures, of rules, in order for you to grow, in order for you to develop. And you need to just trust and go with the flow. So when it comes to emotions this week, and when I talk about emotions, I'm not only talking about the sad, hard, difficult emotions. I'm talking about just your feelings of excitement, of joy, of sadness and stress and panic and fear. Whatever the emotions, the good ones and the bad ones. Just acknowledge them and just allow them to work their way, because we do have to shift quite a lot of energy. We do have to shift quite a lot of stuff this week. And again, we do have spirit helping us. You do have your guardian angels, your spirit guides, your higher self helping you to do that, but you have to just be the conduit. Just allow the energies to flow and understand and recognize that this is all part of the necessary program for you to let go of preconceived ideas and notions, so that you can be the person that you need to be, the person that you deserve to be. So earth signs, we are going to be very logical and practical about the way we handle our emotions this week. Okay, you're going to be very down to earth. You're not going to have huge, big, high, fancy expectations. Let's just be grounded. Okay, let's just be earth signs. Let's just be practical and simple in the way that we tackle it, in the way that we handle it. As long as you are constantly reminding yourself, no expectations. You're just going to let things evolve in the way that they need to, but you're going to hold on to hope always that actually that everything is okay, because you know what? It is. Even though even though nothing is as expected, nothing works out the way that you wanted or the way that you had hoped, but know that everything is working out exactly as it needs to. But we need to get rid of the boundaries. We need to get rid of that. And there is unlimited spirit available to help you in whichever way you need. Right, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, I do hope you have an amazing week ahead with love and blessings. So let's put these cards back into the deck, just in random places. There we go. And now we do our air signs. Air signs, welcome. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We are using the beautiful, the gorgeous, the wonderful Muse Tarot for our element readings this week. Muse Tarot is giving us our guidance and our inspiration. It's a fabulously quirky, unusual collage style deck that sort of just takes everything and just makes you look at everything from a slightly different point of view. So giving the cards just a little shuffle as I'm connecting with air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And we're asking for some guidance and inspiration for the week ahead, the week of the 7th to the 13th of August 2022, for all air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I'm just going to do one more shuffle, and then we will pick some cards. Okay. All right, air signs. Cards are shuffled. Let's split the deck. Card number 1 for your week ahead, we have got the 10 of Voices. We have got the Sun. How beautiful is that? Love the colors. And we have the 7 of Emotions. All right. So the first thing that sort of jumps at me here is obviously the Sun card, because it is the brightest one. These two both seem to have similar dull-ish color schemes, but the Sun is just so beautiful and so bright. The fact that the Sun has come through in the middle here, air signs, is basically saying to you that this is the thing that matters most. And the Sun represents happiness, joy, success, etc. But on either side of the Sun, we have energies that are maybe pulling us down ever so slightly. All right, we have the 10 of Voices. Now, what I notice around these two is we have this kind of a vortex energy that's coming down, okay? From up, it's coming down, and it seems to be going through Our Lady, okay? But there's definitely this heavy downward kind of energy happening with the 10 of voices. Then we've got the Sun card, which is all happy, happy, happy. And then we seem to have, to me, this energy seems to be going up. It seems to be, it's coming down to a point here and it's going up to a point there. So it's interesting that the way that we start on a down, we then have the Sun, which changes the energy, completely transmutes the energy, and then we have that upward motion. So it's like we've got heavy sadness, stress, worry, anxiety, panic, and fear. We then have a moment of clarity, because there she is doing a bit of yoga meditation. We have a moment of clarity, and then suddenly everything starts looking better and everything starts looking up. So I do think, air signs, for you guys for this week, that is exactly what you can expect. That is exactly what this week is going to be about. You're going to have to face some uncomfortable truths, and we understand that because we've got the ego sublimation. We've also got a confirmation of unlimited energy, unlimited spirit. But unlimited spirit is also meaning, as I have said a couple of times, that spirit is not going to stop you from having bad experiences, because it's part of your evolution, it's part of your learning, it's part of your growth, it's part of your ego, okay? So here we're going to have some tough, we're going to have to face some tough truths. All right, air signs? You're going to have to face some tough truths. You're going to have some experiences, okay? But no matter how tough it gets, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult it gets, you will be triumphant. You will overcome all of those challenges and difficulties. But the way that you overcome it is by succumbing to it, okay? When you try and control or resist the lessons, they actually just seem to get worse. But if you just go with the flow and experience it and be present through that experience, it's amazing how quickly you have that epiphany, how quickly you have that understanding, how quickly the lesson is learnt, and then we can move on. But it's when you struggle against the lesson, when you try to navigate it, control it, speed it up, slow it down, etc., when you try to handle it, you actually make the situation worse. But when you just go with the flow and have the experiences and have the understanding, the epiphany will come. And through that epiphany, everything shifts and everything becomes an upward cycle spiral. So when we have the Seven of Emotions, so the Seven of Emotions is the card that says choices and options, okay? It says that sometimes we have so many choices and options that it can be quite overwhelming as to which one to choose. So here she has got 7 different goldfish, and each goldfish carries something different. I actually want to show you. So each goldfish has a different element. Here we've got a victory wreath, we have a shark fin, we have some sunglasses. No, I don't know if it's sunglasses or if it's a patch across the eye. This one is just shining beautiful light. I don't know what that one's doing. I can't. Oh, that one's got 2 of them. That one's a mirror image. And what has this one got happening? I can't actually see. But they're all different. They're all goldfish. They're all exactly the same, but they all are completely different. This one is a show goldfish. You know, it's putting on a show, and it's being all flamboyant and it's being all fabulous. So basically, air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Spirit is saying, understand that there is unlimited energy around us at the moment. What you do with that energy is entirely up to you. We need to understand that the thing that controls us, the thing that defines us, we definitely have the vanishing mirror happening this week, where we are going to see more than we wanted to, more than we realize, more than we're comfortable with. Our angels and our spirit guides are saying decisions, and that's exactly what this card is, okay? 7 of Emotions, a single keyword of it is decisions, choices and decisions. We've got triumphant. So this is definitely our angels and our spirit guides telling you, you've got this. But you need to go with whatever the negatives are, whatever the hardships are, whatever the challenges are. You need to just experience them, go with it. Allow it to unfold in whichever way. Don't suppress emotion. Don't resist emotion, and don't hold on to emotion. Just allow it to flow. If you're having a problem and you need to scream, scream. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to journal, journal. But allow the experience to manifest and to process in whichever way it needs to. Spend time in contemplation. Spend time processing, understanding. See how she's got her solar plexus so connected and so aligned right there, okay? And this is what we need to do. We need to be connected in that space. We need to feel, process, and experience in that space so that we can transmute, so that we can clear, so that we can see the options that are available to us, because there is unlimited spirit for all of you air signs this week. And when you have these choices and options in front of you, go with your gut, go with your intuition, you know, go with your ego, if I can put it that way. If you want the one that is all showy and flashy, then go for that. For no other reason except it's what you want. Don't limit yourself. Don't restrict yourself, and don't deny yourself, okay? Pick a thing that appeals to your soul, that appeals to your sense of happiness, that appeals to your whatever. Pick it and go for it with no judgment, with no questions, with no kind of, oh, but you're a bad person by choosing that. Not at all. You've got to trust, you've got to allow, and you've got to accept. But you've got to work through your challenges and your hardships first. All right. Air signs, lots of love and blessings to each one of you for the week ahead. Good. Let's put the cards back into the deck in random places, as I like to do. And now we're going to do our water signs. So water signs, welcome. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Welcome to your week ahead guidance. We are working with the Muse Tarot this week. That is the box on the table there. This is such a wonderfully unusual, strange, and beautiful tarot deck. We are looking at the week of the 7th to the 13th of August. And as I said, this is for all water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. For the week ahead, water signs, what's in store for you? What do you need to know? What is the energy of the week ahead for all our water signs this week? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm happy with that shuffle. Cutting the deck. Card number 1, water signs. We have got the Page of Materials. We have got the 6 of Voices. And we have the 7 of Voices. Very interesting. Actually, let me move that deck completely out of the way so that I have a bit of space. All right. So we have 2 voices. We have 2 voices. We've got the 6 of Voices. We've got the 7 of Voices. When it comes to traditional tarot, for those of you who are curious, Voices is the suit of, I want to say swords, but I'm not questioning myself. But we're going to go with swords because I'm sure it's the swords. All right, because the swords cut, the voices cut, swords cut, and the voices cut. Voices can be very harsh and very, very final. Right, we also have the Page of Materials, and Materials is the suit of Pentacles. So we've got the 6 of Swords, we've got the 7 of Swords. We've got 2 energies that are coming through here, which are saying to you, water signs, that this week you may have some difficulties and struggles for the week ahead. When we look at, and I'm going to come back to that one in a second, but I want to just talk about the 2 voices first of all. If we look at this particular artwork, so here we have this person who's almost like they've created a bridge and a pathway for this tiny little individual to cross the river. There's all these spikes, okay? There's all these spikes. So we need the bridge in order to cross. And it's almost like she hasn't really given much thought as to what she's doing. She hasn't given much thought to where she's going. She just had made the decision, I need to cross. And she took a gamble. She took a huge chance by trusting this unknown individual, this unknown person, to help her get across, okay? So, and that's exactly what the week has for us all. So water signs, it's almost like Spirit is saying to you that this week you may feel like you just want to run away. You may feel like you just want to escape. You may feel like it's all just a little bit too much and you just want to get away. When I look at the second Voices card, the 7 of Voices, so here we have all of these foxes. You can see we have mirror image there, we have mirror image there, and here we have a lady with the fox head. And there is the bridge again. We've got another lady up top there and another one down there. But this looks like the light version and this is the dark version and the pathway to another dimension, maybe, okay? And the Seven of Voices, the Seven of Swords, to me is always a card of strategy, planning, needing to know what is the end game, or what are we working towards, and how are we going to do it. There are multiple ways to do the same thing. Not all of them are going to succeed. Not all of them are necessarily bad, but it's about having a clear picture of what it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. So when I see these two cards, all right, she has jumped into something. When I say she, I'm referring to that tiny little person there, and I'm also referring to each one of you water signs. You have made up your mind, this is something that I want to do. You have an objective this week of something that you want to do. And there is this tendency to rush into it without fully thinking about what it is you want to do, how you're going to do it. Because here, as I said, she's taken a gamble, and she's allowed this strange giant to offer her a way to cross the waters to get to the other side. So she has walked down that hand, into this hand, and now she's reached the end of a fingertip. She's holding on to an extended fingertip there, but now she's still got a ways to go. And she's now questioning and pondering, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to finish the journey? And because she didn't think it through, because she didn't plan sufficiently before she embarked on the journey, she now finds herself in a precarious situation. Let's go back to the beginning. We have got the Page of Materials. Page of Materials is the Suit of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is somebody who's very slow, somebody who's very methodical, somebody who's very logical in what they do and how they do. But we seem to have thrown all logic out the window, because there was the sense of urgency, there was the sense of fear, insecurity, doubt, etc., which seems to be getting us into trouble. Okay, and when we find ourselves in trouble, when we find ourselves in this position here, what's important, water signs, is that you stop, time out, sit and strategize. Observe your surroundings. Observe everything that's going on around you and say, weigh up your pros and your cons before you rush into anything, because rushing into a thing this week is going to get you into trouble. You are normally so calm, so centered, so methodical in your decisions, in your actions, and in your behaviors. But for some reason this week, and I do think it's got to do with our vanishing mirror, our ego sublimation, the fact that our usual modus operandi is disappearing in front of us, and we're feeling exposed. We're feeling that there's this unlimited energy around us, this unlimited spirit, which could be giving us confidence, false confidence, okay? Or it could be making us feel like we don't have a choice. But what I'm going to say to all of you water signs this week, our angels, our spirit guides, and our higher self is absolutely here with you to help you navigate that last bit. But it does require you to slow down. Both of these cards are telling you to slow down. Both of these cards are telling you don't rush in. Normally, you are so level-headed, you are so calm in your thinking and so rational in your thinking, but something happens this week that pushes you beyond. You will succeed. Triumphant means that you will succeed in overcoming your challenges and your obstacles. You will succeed at figuring this out, but it is going to require you to stop and ponder and think, okay? It's going to require you to be mindful of your behaviors, of your actions, and of the next steps. So we can't go back. There's no backwards here, okay? There's no backwards here. Unfortunately, wherever you are, you have to look at the next step. You cannot look at where you've come from, and you can't go back and change it because the mirror is vanishing. We have unlimited spirit available to us to help us navigate the last stretch of the journey to achieve our goals, our dreams, and our ambitions. I want to remind you about ocean jasper. So water signs, the ocean jasper and ocean, by the way, sorry, I just made that connection out too. Ocean jasper can help you to relieve stress and worry, as well as opening the communication channels. And that's what's happening here. We need to learn to not only internalize and not only keep to ourselves, but open the communication channels to other people so that other people can assist us wherever necessary, wherever we need, all right? Ocean jasper is a grounding stone that can boost your optimism and lift your spirit. So when you're feeling deflated, defeated, insecure, that's where you can lean on the ocean jasper and your spirit guides, the unlimited spirit that is available to you. And they will assist you and help you in whichever way that you need. Affirmation that you can use is I am stress-free and confident. So water signs, I want to encourage you to really focus on that this week, to not be too hard on yourself when you find yourself in a strange situation. Instead of rushing in and trying to resolve it, take a minute, okay? Take a minute, think about it, communicate, express, internalize, externalize, all of those kind of things. Do whatever you need to do to have a clear path to change your circumstances. Because if you don't have that clear plan or that clear path, it's only going to make your insecurities worse. And this week we want to be confident in all that we do. And there is unlimited energy available, but only if you ask. So if you don't communicate your insecurities and your doubts and your fears, you're going to be on your own in handling all of it. The decisions that you have to make this week, you don't have to carry the burdens on your own. You can share them with Spirit. Spirit will help you and guide you. All right. So water signs, lots of love and blessings to each one of you for the week ahead. Let's put these cards away because we're done with all of those now. What's next, friends? I'm having a moment. Oh, Q&A with Spirit. I am going to, I can leave that box there. It shouldn't interfere with us too much. Q&A with Spirit, friends, and here are my Qs. I have the Q questions. If you haven't done a Q&A with me before, let's explain how it works. I have a whole bunch of questions here, and each week we shuffle and we draw a single question. We're asking Spirit, our spirit guides, our angels, our ascended masters, we're asking them what is a question that maybe some of us have been questioning or pondering, or a question that maybe we should be questioning and pondering. What is an interesting topic or concept that Spirit wants us to be talking about and discussing and learning about today? So a question for the collective. This is for everybody. This is just an interesting kind of way of growing and developing ourselves and having a better understanding of life as we know it. So let's cut the deck. And we have a question. Right, let's put the cards away somewhere. Let's have a look and see what is our question this week. What am I being called to embrace or step into? What am I being called to embrace or step into? Now, what I like about this question, I'm actually just going to leave it straight there, is when I think about our elemental readings, all 4 elemental readings I've just done, when I think about all the cards that we have here, the message that's come through this week of unlimited spirit, in our elemental readings, out of, like I said, all 4 of them, the one thing that came through was about the change and the evolution, about the things that we have to face, the darkness, the hardships, the challenges that we need to face in order to progress, in order to move forward. We all got reminders that there is unlimited spirit, there is unlimited support, but we need to let go of our conditioning. We need to let go of the boundaries, restrictions, and limits that we have and overcome our challenges and our obstacles. So this question to me actually is quite great for the week ahead because, for this week, because it's basically going to help us understand why it is that we have to face the things that we have to face this week, why it is that we have to deal with and experience the things that we have to deal with and experience for the week ahead. Because what are we stepping into? So what are we being called to embrace or step into? And this week I am going to work with this deck, which is the Lionscape Tarot, I think it's called. I never know if it's the Lionscape, yes. So Lionscape Tarot is the deck that we're going to work with this week to answer the question of what are we, because now we're going to refer to it as a collective. So what are we being called to embrace or step into? Let's have a look. What are we being called to embrace or step into? Okay, I'm just going to do one more shuffle. What are we being called to embrace or step into, please, Spirit? What are we being called to embrace or step into? Okay, cards are so pretty. Okay, cutting the deck. Card number 1 of what are we being called to embrace or step into? We have the 7 of Wands. Card number 2, we have the Page of Swords. And card number 3, we have the beautiful Queen of Wands. So you know what's interesting here, friends, is we've got the 2 Wands cards, okay, surrounding a sword. So we've got Wands on either end. Wands is the suit of action. It's a suit of doing. It's a suit of getting things done in the way that they need to. Okay, so here we have is the 7 of Wands. Now I want to show you the hologram, the holographic on. Can you see it is a shield, and it's got this kind of vortex arrow energy sort of going around it. But otherwise, when we look at the artwork, we have this lone tree, and then we have factories in the background. So here we have industry, okay, and we have all the smoke and the pollution that's coming from industry. And here we have this one single tree that is standing there, and it's almost like that tree was once upon a time part of a forest. The forest is gone, okay, for whatever reason, all right? I'm not blaming industry, but maybe we're blaming industry, all right? But that forest is defending all trees, even though it's standing completely on its own. Even though that tree is like completely isolated and completely on its own, it's still standing up for and defending that which matters most to it, which is trees, because trees give us fresh oxygen. So here we have industry, which is polluting our air, and we've got one tree who has taken on this mammoth task of cleaning the air for everybody else. So what are we being called to embrace or step into? Standing up for what's right, standing up for what matters. And even though sometimes you have to stand on your own, even though sometimes you have to be the one that everybody's looking at you going, why are you doing that? We've all given up. We've all run away. We've all stopped that. Why are you still doing it? Who cares what other people think? Stand up for what you believe in, even if it means standing on your own, because that's what you're being called to embrace or step into. You know what? If we each did this, suddenly you would find that you wouldn't be the lone tree. Suddenly, if we all did this, if we all had the courage to stand up on our own and be that person, it's amazing how suddenly everybody else would suddenly start joining in. But everybody's waiting for somebody else to make the first move, for somebody else to be the first one to stand there. And because of that, nobody ever gets there. It seems to be like a never-ending cycle. So friends, be the first one. Be confident and brave enough to step into defending and standing up for whatever matters most to you in your life at the moment. Whether this is at work, in your personal life, in your home life, in your hobbies, in whatever it is, stand up for something that you believe is wrong. Then we have here the Page of Swords. Now, again, I want to show you the hologram. Do you see what we have here? I know it's this artwork is quite difficult to see, but what we have is an electric guitar. We have a person. Is it a person? It is a person. So we have somebody who is using musical talent, skill, knowledge to transcend. Okay, there is transcension. I don't know, is transcension a word? I've just made it into a word. All right, look what we have in the background. We've got a cliff. We've got a cliff. We have this steeped mountain that's happening here, but there is a gap, and in this gap, in that gap is where we find harmony. In that gap is where we find true beauty, and it comes through our talents, our skills, and our abilities. So going back here, whatever it is that you need to stand up for, whatever it is that matters to you, use the tools, the skills, the talents that you have to bridge the gap. Okay, so we need to use the skills that we have. And again, we're also, and I think this is why we've got the vanishing mirror, friends, because we're all so quick to, well, no, we're not quick. We're the opposite of quick. We all wait to see what somebody else does, and then we jump on the bandwagon. There's very few who are prepared to stand out, who are prepared to be the first, who are prepared to be that one, to do something strange, unusual, different, fabulous, to bridge a gap, to defend that which matters the most. And then coming into our Queen of Wands. So here we have a desert, but we've got flowers growing. We've even got the cacti even has a little flower growing on it over there. We have a beautiful clear day, and we can see the artwork is easy to see on this card. We've got a lady with her hair in a ponytail, and she's full of inspiration. She's full of ideas. Now, the Queen of Wands, she's somebody who can get stuff done. You know, she's resourceful, all right? She's somebody who can understand the bigger picture, and she'll understand everybody's talents and skills and abilities, and she will get everybody cracking, get everybody moving, and get everybody into place. So she's like the the nurturer, organizer, manifester. She's the person, when you walk into her house, it doesn't matter what time of day, it doesn't matter when you walk into her house, there will be a pot of food on the stove and she will always have enough to feed everybody. Okay, she is resourceful, she never complains, she just gets on and does what she needs to do, but she does everything from such a good place in her heart. The message for all of us here today: what are we being called to embrace or step into? The things that matter most. To trust and believe in the resources that we have, the resources that we have access to, the resources that we have at our disposal, to defend and to stand up and support that which matters most to us. Whether this is a person, a circumstance, or a situation, it doesn't matter. But you've got to start relying on your own skills, your own talent, your own abilities to overcome the challenges. And that's what we all need to step into. Let's stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Let's stop worrying about the mistakes that other people are making, or, oh, but they're working on this, or that they're doing that. Let's stop worrying about anybody else. Let's actually say, what matters to me? What's most important to me? What are my talents? What are my skills? What are my abilities? And how good am I at using all of that to achieve something fabulous? That is what we need to be thinking about this week. So in your own circumstance and in a bigger picture, whether it be, like I said, a family, a work, a situational, whatever it might be brave enough and be confident enough to climb outside of your comfort zone and to do the things that truly matter in support of what matters most to you. That is what you are being called to embrace or step into for the week ahead. So friends, it certainly looks like we're in for an interesting week. I am now going to do an extended bonus reading for my Motivated and Activated channel members. And I have an interesting reading that I'm going to do, which I actually think is going to tie into all of this quite perfectly. So if you want to hit the join button just over here somewhere, click that join button so that you can have access to that reading now as well. But for the rest of you, thank you for being with me. Thank you for your love and support. I wish you an amazing week ahead. And with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.